It's locked. Not a good idea. These are huge lumps of salt. That won't get me any further. It seems to have worked. This must be the amulet. I found it. Monsieur le Capitaine,
What can I do for you?
when are you leaving for Portsmouth?
In 2 hours. Are you coming?
Yes.
Then come aboard.
I don't think I need to change my clothes just yet. My spare suit, just in case. Clothes and stuff. That won't help either. A perfect hiding place for the amulet. No one will find it there. I think I'll go and get some fresh air. I'm feeling a bit uneasy. God, what's been going on here? Someone's broken into my cabin and searched through all my things. The amulet. Where's the amulet? It's been stolen. I don't believe it. Blast it. The thief must still be on board. But we're pulling into the harbor. I'll never catch him now. Hello, Mr. Blake. I'm back.
And? Did you find the amulet?
That's a long story.
Well, go on then. I can't wait to hear what happened.
I found the amulet. It was walled up in the Lord's mausoleum.
Really? It really does exist then. And you've got it. Show me.
Well, I did have it, but it was stolen from me.
Stolen? How did that happen?
No idea. I hid it in my cabin during the crossing. Someone broke in and rummaged through all my luggage.
Was anything else missing?
No, not a thing.
Someone must have been following you.
I didn't notice anyone. Who could have known I'd been looking for an amulet in that godforsaken dump?
Certain people may be taking a great interest in your investigations, Mr. Halligan. Do not underestimate the power of the Druids.
Mr. Blake, are you saying the Druids stole the amulet? That's absurd.
The amulet is vital to the perfection of their ritual. Believe me, we're not the only ones with a particular interest in the amulet. The Druids are after it just as much.
I thought the Druids ceased to exist 1,000 years ago.
It seems there are still some left after all. Just as I suspected, they are among us now. They never left us in the first place.
I haven't met anyone who looked like a Druid so far.
No, Mr. Halligan. You won't recognize the inheritors by their cloaks and sickles. They're people, just like you and me. They could be powerful industrialists, high-ranking politicians, or influential military men, people in key positions of society.
What can I do then? I can't possibly check up on the entire upper class of British society looking for a couple of Druids.
No, but it may be worth your while to keep an eye on groups of neo-Druids. If anyone tries to justify their claims to the Druids' inheritance, they will.
Neo-Druids? What are they?
There are a number of groups around claiming to be the Druids' rightful successors. They're organized in orders, like Templars or Freemasons.
Tell me more about these Neo-Druids.
Like I said, the Neo-Druids try to live their lives according to ancient Druid ideals. Some of them do a lot of charitable work as well, but there are some really dubious associations going around, combining the Druids' customs with occult rites. Rumors say that there is such a sect at large somewhere in London.
In London, you said? Do you know where I might find these people?
I've no idea. All I know is that the only people who know anything about the order refer to it as the Circle.
Thank you, Mr. Blake. I'll see what I can make of it.
Good. If you have any more questions, don't hesitate to call on me anytime you like.
One more thing, Mr. Blake.
Yes,
I get the impression this business could get pretty dangerous from now on.
yes. Very likely, Mr. Halligan.
It may be safer for both of us if we let someone else in on the matter. Please call Melanie Turner in Oxford and tell her the whole story. Make sure she learns everything you've told me. She works at the Anthropological Museum. Her number's in the phone book. And tell her I'll get in touch with her myself as soon as possible. Would you do that for me?
Of course, Mr. Halligan. Good luck.
Halligan, into my office at once.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
Halligan, come on in. I suppose we should be glad that you drop in now and then.
What's the matter, Chief?
You know, Halligan, I was just asking myself what you've been doing.
I've been investigating, Chief.
Well, have you? And do you know what I've been doing? I've been dismissing loads of press people, worried citizens, and politicians from my office. The phone hasn't stopped ringing since this morning. The mayor's been to my office, and I haven't seen much of you. When do you expect to come up with results?
I'm getting there, Chief, but it takes time.
Takes time. Takes time? Will I ever get to hear anything else from a detective? Where the heck have you been, Halligan?
You'll get a report at the end of the week.
The end of the week? Why not at the end of the month or at the end of the year? I want the results on my desk tomorrow morning, Halligan. And now, I want to know where you've been all this time.
You'll find out when you read the report I'm going to write.
Don't be impertinent, detective. As your chief, I'm entitled to ask you about the results of investigations and your proceedings whenever I like.
Yes, Chief, of course.
That sounds better. Otherwise, I could have you write a report about every single step of your proceedings, and I think you know that.
Very well, then. I was visiting an expert on Druids.
You were what? Halligan, have you lost your marbles? You're not supposed to be indulging in your hobbies. You're supposed to be solving the skeleton murders.
Is that all, Chief?
No, that is not all. One of the phone calls this morning was from the 4th District in Oxford.
Uh-huh. And?
A beggar has been to see them. He claimed that somebody had first put him to sleep and then robbed him. And do you know who that person was? No? A man who calls himself Detective Halligan! Our colleagues looked into the Central Personal Database and guess what? They found a man by the name of Detective Halligan, and he works for my department. What do you say to that?
Chief, the beggar must be mistaken. It's a mix-up.
A mix-up? I hope so. If these accusations turn out to be true, you can spend the rest of your professional life washing police cars.
When did you receive the phone call from our colleagues?
Oh, less than half an hour ago. Have you any idea how embarrassed I was about the affair? The colleague I talked to said that the beggar still had some of the substance he'd been knocked out with. Medical alcohol with apple juice. Halligan, please tell me you didn't do it.
I had nothing to do with it, Chief. Honestly.
Well, I hope so, for your benefit. From now on, I expect you to start looking into the case at hand.
Okay, Chief. I read you.
Indeed? Excellent, Detective. Then get out and do your job. And Halligan, if I should hear that you are conducting your investigations in any dubious or illegal way, I'll take you off the case immediately.
Understood, Chief.